Well, Cashify, the last one failed, but at least it gave my first video a chance to upload, and this now gets to go second, but which it was oh, never mind, I don't need to explain. But anyway, on the subject of you talking about all these different perspectives, and the perspective you have isn't the only one, so we don't really know which one is true because there's all these different perspectives, and they're based on your context and your conditioning and your personal position and all this relativity. Yeah, the problem with that is that you're not taking into account in that reasoning that you have just one point of view. So you say, oh, there's all these other points of view. Yeah, well, you can imagine those, and you can try to pretend to look at things from other points of view, but you can't really do it. You are stuck with one point of view. You can imagine, and it's very good to do that. That's the point of relativism, is let's get good at pretending. I want to be good at modeling your point of view, right? I want to be good at putting myself in the point of view of someone else or some other creature even, and thinking, well, what are their desires? What's their point of view in this situation? And all of that's great to try to do, but the reality is you have your point of view. So when we're making this thing, oh, well, we don't know which one is true, because for you, you have to go with what you think is true. So when you're saying, oh, well, we're ranking one way versus another, that's what I'm doing. I am ranking that for me. You are ranking that for you. And you get the cart before the horse if you're going to talk about the consensus among a lot of people. We don't have to be able to prove to other people that the view is absolutely correct. We just have to convince ourselves that of what we believe. Now, it turns out that when you do that, there are natural overlaps. Now, sometimes we don't overlap. And how do we address that? Well, if we overlap on epistemology, for example, which is how you justify knowledge and how you learn and know things, then we can convince each other, and we do overlap enough in that. People do overlap sometimes on what they are willing to accept as evidence, but they just haven't seen all the same evidence. So if we discuss evidence and the logical arguments for combining the evidence, then we find that we can expand what we agree on and we can build a consensus. But we start from individual points of view. And the question becomes, well, how do we rank them? So, your place in an argument is to say how you rank them. You tell me we can't actually rank these things, but of course you can. You're just telling me in not so many words that you're not going to agree with everybody else. And that's fine. I don't see a problem with that. We are stuck in that position, and we have to be strong-willed enough to be willing to go ahead and say, well, here's how I rank them, and here's why. And it's productive, because when we expose our ideas like this, we find, oh, there are some patterns in what is reasonable and acceptable in argumentation and fact collection, and we tend to manage to agree. So cheers.